Cool Evening by Pee Wee Crayton has some great licks in it, typical Pee Wee Crayton stuff. And after he plays that theme through one time, he's going to go into the first stop time lick. Let me show you how he does it. And then he goes back into that. Well, actually goes back into the theme after that, the first time through. So what I'm doing here, here's B flat. We're playing that lick over a second position B flat bar chord. And I've got my first finger on the 13th fret of the first string, second finger on the 14th fret of the second string. And we're just playing. And then moving that, 1, 2, 3. That is a D shaped B flat. I'm just playing the first and second string. So we got, and then the band is playing something like that. So we got da 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 da. And then right here, he's going to go to that high note with the tremolo picking. So we're going to the 18th fret of the first string. He slides out of it. And then he comes back. So everything there from the stop lick is the same as what we played in the first verse. But here's a variation on the turnaround. So he's got really cool bassy turnaround. And what he's doing here is he's keeping one finger, don't know which one it is, on the 8th fret of the 4th string, and he's picking the 8th fret of the 5th string. So it's 5th and 4th, and then he's keeping the pinky and walking down the 5th string. So the 7th fret, 6th fret, to the 5th fret. Something like that. You got to be able to keep that note. So I use the pinky. And then he plays the F7 before he goes into the next stop time lick. So let me play that verse all the way through. I'm not going to do this for all the verses. I'm just going to show you the stop time licks for the next couple. And he does, for the most part, the same thing. If you check the tab and listen to the original, you'll be able to figure it out. So we come to the end of the first verse. And that's the tricky part. He comes out of that and then slides right into the bass for the 4. And that's the end. There. That time I used my 3rd finger on the 4th string. I've got big hands, so I can get away with that. I think if you have smaller hands, you're going to have to use the pinky to be able to play that lick. So there is the second verse, basically, for Cool Evening by Pee Wee Crayton. On to the next part of Pee Wee Crayton's Cool Evening. After that first stop time, he's going to play another one. It goes like this. And from there, he's going to go into the first, what we'll call solo. So let's just take that part right there. I'm not sure exactly how he played this. That first bass run, if you play it down here between the 3rd and 5th frets, I'm just walking on the bass, 3rd fret, 5th fret on the 4th string, to the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, And then I'm sliding into a B flat double stop on the second and third strings. I'm using my second and third fingers on the 6th fret of the second string and my ring finger on the 7th fret of the third string. So that first lick, or he could climb into it like this on the bass strings here, 8th fret of the 5th string, 5th fret of the 4th string, 8th fret. Like that. I don't know which one's easier. I've tried both. I actually find that a little easier, but both of them are a little weird. That lick is easy. It's when you go over the 4, right there, to get from here to there in time is a little tricky. But what he's doing there is a double stop on the 6th fret, 2nd and 3rd string, and then to the 8th fret of the 4th string, and then 8-6 on that same double stop. So the whole thing. Then right here, he's just going from the B flat double stop, moving it 1, 2, 3 to the B flat 7th double stop. So let me play that whole thing slowly again. And that's the next part. From there, he's going to go into the solo, and I'll try to remember the original note for note. I have it all tabbed out for you. If I forget something, I'll play something Pee-wee-esque. But he does something like this. And then into the 7th. So what I'm doing there, just real simple, I'm really just going back and forth between the 4th string and the 3rd string, 6th and 8th frets. So 8th fret of the 4th string, 6th fret, check the tab on this again. This is pretty straightforward, but the bend, I think he does something like that, and then that lick right there, I'm not sure exactly what he plays, but something like this. And then he's going to slide into the 8th fret of the 4th string. And then does one of these, what I call slurs, on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then we're just into a F7th chord right there. So let me try to play that whole next verse slowly. I got out of time there for a minute. So let's do it from the top. 2, 3. And that's roughly what he's playing. So even if I didn't play it exactly right, that's pretty darn close, and I have it tabbed out according to what I hear on the recording. So that is the next verse. Then we come to another verse with a stop time, and this one's pretty easy too. This time he's going to go to the 7th. So we go to the double stop, 7th double stop. So he comes to the end of the verse. The 9th chord. So all I'm doing is sliding into the 7th, B flat 7th double stop at the 9th and 10th fret, 2nd and 3rd string. And then when I get done with that, I'm going B 9th, B flat 9th. Pretty straightforward there. And then he goes back to that same thing he played before. He plays exactly what he played in the previous verse, maybe a little variation in there. I recorded this on a CD that I'm getting ready to release this summer. And when I played the two guitar solos, I improvised. I played my own stuff in there rather than just playing exactly what Pee Wee Crayton played. And it's a great song. It's a great tempo for, really playing some cool stuff in there. And so even though he plays basically the same solo twice in a row, again, if you're playing this, you can do whatever you want in there. And then he's going to come to the last verse and the end tag, and we'll get that next. Now we're at the end of Pee Wee Crayton's Cool Evening, and the last verse is just a repeat of the first verse plus an end tag. So let me try to play it all the way through slowly for you, and we'll pick it up from the end of the previous verse with the F7. There you have the last verse. So I'm just going to point out the variations and then we'll go right to the end tag. So the only thing he really does differently, if you listen to his original recording, whenever he does these, he puts just slightly different emphases on different notes. Maybe not at all. Maybe that's just me listening too much. But then when he climbs to the 4, he's going to do the doubling up on the picking instead of, which is what he does in the opening verse, the first time he does that. And so everything else is pretty much the same as the first verse. And then when he gets to the end tag, we got this, the last part. Right there, he's going to go to a B-flat diminished chord, like a T-Bone Walker. Pee Wee Crayton did this too, where I'm making a B-flat diminished, check the tab, and he's going to play it. Sounds like downstrokes to me, and then walk into that bass, and then do it again. And now, on the 4th string, do a chromatic walk down, or up rather, from the 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. And then B9, B flat 9. I'm not sure how long he keeps that going there at the end. You can do that however you want. So let's do that end tag one more time from the 5. So we do this. And there you have one of my all-time favorite electric blues guitar instrumentals, Pee Wee Crayton's Cool Evening. Again, if you have trouble finding that on YouTube or something, I think it's got a different name to it. I'll try to figure that out. I've got it on a vinyl record. It's not called Cool Evening on the record. It's called something else, and it's slightly different than the version I played for you. I got mine on a CD, the title of which I'll also put on the video description for you, so if you want to try to find it. It's something I bought on Amazon, so it's out there. So anyway, that is the first of my new lesson categories, instrumentals, and I'll be back again in about 3 months. I've got a request for a T-Bone Walker instrumental, and I think we'll do that. It's called, Shuffling the Boogie, something like that. Really cool stuff. See you then.